Hi, you're here with Ashanti, and I have my guest Ernest Roberts III here. We're going to be discussing principle and process for management and stewardship, the law of biblical mechanics. Can we get into this today? Ernest, I am so glad to have you, by the way. Just introduce yourself and tell us, like, what inspired you to write this book?
Thank you, Ashanti, and thank you for having me. I also have Roberts Consulting Engineers PLLC. It's a consultant firm that I've done work with as it relates to helping other communities do municipal engineering work and consulting too as well. So this book is definitely part of that. So this happened about a year ago. I was at a conference, and a young lady at the end of the conference came up after I spoke and asked me she basically said that I have a gift in me, a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of, blew her off. I didn't really think much of it. After my dad passed away about a year ago, after that conference, I decided to pursue it. I don't know, it was kind of an inner drive. I
Yeah.
put together an outline. I got together with one of my editors that I have out east. We went back and forth in multiple manuscripts, and she said thought it was a unique book.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that it really helps a lot of people as it relates to different aspects in organization and leadership development.
Yes, absolutely. And I wholeheartedly agree. I do believe that this book is the foundation for leadership and management. You discuss leadership in a way where, it can apply to first time leaders or management that's just starting, and also learning to keep your faith while in their leadership role. Can we get into that part of the book where you talk about faith and managing that as well as managing others? How do you apply both?
Yes, that's a mouthful. However, faith is obviously believing in things that are not seen from a biblical perspective. So, no matter how many degrees you have, no matter how much experience you have, certain things maybe even be above your level.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you want to do is you want to tap into the concepts of our Creator, and basically have time to biblically meditate on some of these items. And a lot of times, things just end up coming to me,
Yeah.
and things that were very difficult as it relates to how do you move an organization forward, or how you manage your family, or whatever have you. Uh, a lot of times we need to take time to slow down and to really think and just let the ideas and thoughts come to us.
Yeah.
So, there's multiple examples in the book, but faith is taking yourself up to another level.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with a lot of the sense knowledge realm, the five senses, what we can do, what our abilities are. But again, those are limited. And sometimes the problems that we have now force you to go above and beyond what's natural.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are the things that over time and experience that you end up, learning. So again, it was basically trial and error for me. But faith has really given me thoughts, ideas, and principles that I was able to use that actually got me a lot of recognition. And I
Very
won't say
good.
it's me personally. I'm just saying that each and every one of us has those abilities.
Great. That's good to hear. Yes, I do believe that it lies in every one of us, especially when we have to put ourselves into this world. So when you speak of change management, can you go into details on how to execute that in the workforce?
Yes, well, change management is one of those concepts, whether you're doing a master's program in business administration or public administration or project management professional, whatever have you. Those are concepts that they talk about, but it's
Mm-hmm.
harder to implement because you're dealing with people. Change is very, very hard for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It bumps up against what we call our set points, our revelation wall, and you have to deal with people on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah.
That the change is going to be beneficial to everyone, not just an individual, and we want to make sure everyone buys in.
Yeah.
Meetings, communication, those concepts and thoughts have to be there. You have to take time with your staff, and you have to develop your staff accordingly. And that means you have to consistently do it. It's not just a one-time thing. And change has to be incremental. It can't be done all at one time. I tried to do that, and I got a lot of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had some friends, and you have to also get consulting and people that could actually help you that have actually been through it
Yeah.
and give you ideas and thoughts. And so I was able to bring my ego down as a leader, and then I was able to say, okay, let's do this incrementally.
Yeah.
And once I was able to do that, everybody bought in, and the whole organization benefited from it because now everybody has to own it, and it's their responsibility.
Absolutely. So, one final question here. I really, really enjoy reading the verses that you had in the book. They were very powerful, straight to the point as far as like management. But when you talk about kingdom management, I found that very interesting because you're saying that we have a purpose here, a divine purpose, right? So, can we get into the kingdom management concept? Where did that spark from?
Well, that goes back to I attend Living Word Christian Center in Forest Park. Dr. Bill Winston, I've been under his teaching for years. One of the things he talks about is 3D versus 4D. 3D being the world system, our physical senses, what we could do in the natural, and the kingdom system where we rely on our Creator to give us our purpose and our mandate. Everyone has a sphere of influence, and everyone is responsible for their sphere of influence. We talk about the parable of talents. We talked about the unjust steward. If you go through the book, I pick out certain parables that are there and related to modern day. We're responsible. There's a lot of victim mentality kind of mindset, but our Creator wants us to produce.
Yes.
He expects us to produce. Anything that's within our sphere of influence, we're supposed to multiply. So you're not going to be given much if you can't take care of little. So from the kingdom standpoint, it's relying on what I call the 4D, or what we talked about before, the kingdom principles of faith, and being able to bring that down, the spiritual realm, down into the natural to assist us in whatever it is that we need, whether it's financial, whether it's social, relationship, no matter what. We have those abilities. And I think that that's not being taught.
Yeah.
So this is the extra tangible things that we need to have in whatever sphere of influence that we're doing, in whatever workforce that we're doing, whether it's the family or whether it's a relationship, organization, because organizations rise and fall based on how good or how bad leadership is. That is a very critical
That's very
piece.
true. Yeah.
People leave people, not jobs.
Right.
So we have to
Absolutely.
be very cognizant of that. So I'm very aware of that over my 30 plus years of experience. It's very important to dig into the spiritual portion and your faith and use these kingdom principles, as I talk about in my book, to bring those down in any area that you're working in. So I think that's very important.
Yes. Well, it was a pleasure having you here today. I just
Absolutely.
want you to know that this inspired me, as I believe it will inspire those that read the book. So make sure you get it off Amazon. Follow Ernest. He has a social media, Ernest Roberts III, and purchase your copy. It's really good for the office. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Ernest.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.
Take care.